Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 3 of the Game Tree. I'm Peach, and as always, I'm accompanied by my wonderful co-host Justin. How you doing, Justin?
I'm doing pretty well, my friend. How are you?
I'm okay, thank you. And of course, we are joined by a special streamer guest. This month, we have the wonderfully wholesome Angel. That is Lunaxvalley. Hey, Luna.
Hello.
Thank you so much for joining us.
It's okay. Thank you so much for asking me on. It's a bit of a weird situation, but I'll be okay. It'll be fine. We move. It's fine.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine. We'll look
time.
after you. Don't worry. So it's been another month since we last recorded. And as usual, Justin, I want to know what games you've been trying this month, because you usually always have a long list. So I'm intrigued to know what's new. What's new for Justin?
A lot of things, but I've decided this month to keep my list down somewhat from 10 games to I'm just going to talk about 2 that I've been playing a lot. And so I'll start with I've been playing a lot of Immortals Fenyx Rising, which is a game that is popular in our little streamer circle with some people. And it's an open world Ubisoft game cut out of the Breath of the Wild mold. So the developers of this game had done Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which is one of my favorite games of all time. And they had taken a look at Breath of the Wild and were like, we should do something like that. We should make this like open world, go in any area you want, have 4 main abilities, climb on anything, run out of stamina game. And they've taken a crack at it, and I think they've done pretty well with it. Doesn't capture the full Breath of the Wild essence because it's just missing that special Nintendo
Of course.
sauce that they throw into their games. But you know, your character. This game was actually originally named Gods and Monsters, which is a way better name than Immortals Fenyx Rising.
It's a weird name. I thought that when I first heard about the game, I was like, what is it? Like, it didn't really give much away as to what it actually was.
Yeah, just a terrible name that does disservice to, I think, a very fun video game. So it's basically you're a character that is trying to help out the Greek gods who have all been either imprisoned or kind of enslaved to this Titan. And it's a very beautiful looking game. It's not the same art style exactly as Breath of the Wild, but not far off. Very cartoony, but colorful. You have 4 main abilities that you can use, and there's a lot of puzzles in the world. There are the same, they have a stand-in for shrines where you drop down and you have to do a puzzle and collect something at the end of it, and that will eventually help you get stronger. But there's no XP, there's no leveling. It's just basically doing these challenges to unlock coins or Zeus lightning that'll help you get a little bit better at the skills that you already have. And it's just about exploring the open world, and I think the combat's pretty fun. I'm about 20 hours in. I'm about halfway through. I've saved 2 of the 4 gods that I have to save before I go face the big boss at the end. And it's enjoyable. I'm having fun. A lot of open world games this year I kind of just bounced off of. And for some reason I found the right groove with this one, and it's been fun so far.
It does look good. I haven't played it myself. I've seen other people streaming it. And yeah, it's definitely got the Breath of the Wild vibe. And it looks like fun.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of really good things about it. My friends constantly are bigging it up, and they're just like, you should play it. And I was like, that would be another game added to my backlog of games that I have not yet finished. So maybe we'll put it on hold for now, but it's definitely a game that I want to look into more.
My problem this year was a lot of open world games, which I usually really like. Just I could not get into. I couldn't find for me with open world games, I find it to be just very relaxing, where after like a hard day's work or just like a rough day at home with the kids or something, like what I like to do is not talk to anybody, just plop into an open world game and like kind of just check off, like checklist games. Like, all right, go do this. Go here, get these 3 things, come back. It's just kind of like mindless activity that I could just do. And a lot of the games I played this year just did not really hit that way for me. And so this one's working because I can tell when I'm into a game when it's like, okay, I should sign off now. Oh, hang on. I could see a new shrine or challenge in the distance here. I'm only 2 coins short of leveling this ability up. All right, let me just go over here and do this.
We'll just do that one quickly. It won't take a
I'm going to
second.
do that one quickly. And then it's like, oh, well, there's those flowers over there. I'm like running out of stamina. Let me go collect those. And it's like, oh, well, there's like a mini boss here. If I take this guy out, I'll be able to level up again. And then like 2 more hours have passed and I still haven't signed off yet. So I find that the game is good for that.
It's how they get you though, right? Where they're just like, hey,
is...
you could go and do this right now if you really wanted to, and you're just like, yeah, that's a good idea. Let's go do it.
And I think a lot of it also just has to do with I have to complete one of these games because it's been a while since I completed an open world game, and I don't recognize myself with just starting a few and not finishing them. So I need to finish one of these. So this is the one I've chosen to finish. And then eventually I'll get back. Yes, eventually I'll get back to Assassin's Creed Valhalla when I have a spare 100 hours to play a game.
Because who doesn't, of course.
Oh yeah.
Who doesn't? The other game that I wanted to talk about that I've been enjoying is a game that I've had in my Steam library since I bought this PC. So about 6-7 months now. It was this little roguelike game called Skull the Hero Slayer. And I saw it on one of the Steam sales and was like, oh, this looks neat. I'll pick this up. It was in early access. But as we talked about last month on the last show, I like to hold off on early access games if I can until they're 1.0. I'd like to support the developers of games I'm interested in by getting in on early access so that way they can get the money to finish the game, but I'll hold off on usually playing it until it's done. So I waited to do the same with this. And I love Hades. I love Dead Cells. We've talked about this. I love roguelike games. And so this one has you playing as a little skeleton dude named Skull. And you're fighting the big bad human armies. So you're on the monster side. Okay. And you can start the game and you basically choose a portal to run through, and then there's a very small level, and the next portal will open up after you kill everything in that little world. And you're just running left to right. And to start, you could take off your head and throw it at somebody and then teleport to where your head is. And you have like a little bone sword that you're swinging at them. But what's cool about this game is the main mechanic is you can swap your head for a second head. So you can carry 2 heads. And so like the second head that you carry will be different. Like one of them basically turns you into a tree. One of them turns you into Ghost Rider. One of them turns you into this like giant monster. And all of them have different abilities with different cooldowns. And it's about trying to find the right combination of heads to use to get through the game. And then you die and you go back to the start, and you could eventually make yourself more powerful by keeping what you collect during your run and then upgrading your health and how much damage you're doing and stuff, which is standard roguelike stuff. But the part that I really like about it is the combat's pretty fun. It's difficult, but the fact that you just grab a skull that pulls out a motorcycle and lights the ground on fire as you ride around hitting stuff with what looks like a chain, it's just really neat. And
sounds pretty badass.
Yeah.
Sounds really cool.
So it's I think it's like $20 on Steam right now, but I'm enjoying the hell out of it. I'm like 6-7 hours in. I just made it to the second boss for the first time, and it's hard. Sometimes you just don't get the right loadout of skulls, and you're like, well, if I had something that did lots of damage at range, that would be awesome, but I don't have that right now. I'm a very up close boy, and I don't have the health to be an up close boy because 3 or 4 hits and you're done. Mm-hmm. So it's good. I like it. I'm gonna probably keep playing this one for a while. It just seems like one of those good ones.
I can always tell when Justin really enjoys a game because he immediately wants to come and talk to me about it. And I remember the first day you started playing it and you were like, Peach, this game, it's great, I love it.
Well, I remember because you were streaming and I was home from work because we've had a lot of COVID scares in this house. So we were all quarantined for about 2 weeks. Not fun. So I was working from home and it was dead at work and you were streaming and I was like, I'm just gonna be playing this in the background while I'm waiting for a phone call. And I got like an hour in. I was like, I need to tell you about this game immediately. And you're always good to lend an ear to me just ranting and raving about a video game.
Of course, but I think that's always a really good sign of a good game when you just immediately want to go and tell someone about it.
Yeah.
100%.
And that kind of takes me on very well, actually, to the new game that I've been playing over the last month, because obviously Justin has been begging me to play it for quite some time because he loves it so much. And I finally started playing Hades.
Oh, see, I still need to get into Hades.
I'm looking at Justin's happy little face right now.
I was gonna drop in with a Persona 5 joke, but I decided to.
No, let's not go there. But so I started playing Hades. I got a really good deal on it. I think I had like a £10 Epic voucher, and I ended up getting Hades for like £8. So I was just like, this is the bargain. I'm just gonna go for it. It'll make Justin happy. So I started playing on stream. And I'm hooked. It's great. I don't know what it is about it that's so addictive. Maybe it's the way that you just start straight from the beginning as soon as you die, but not in a bad way. Like, it's okay to die, and that's quite comforting because you're like building yourself up and building up your abilities and everything and unlocking weapons. But I'm really, really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying Hades. I don't know why it's taking me so long. And now I understand why people go, they were robbed of Game of the Year last year.
Well, it looks like a really nice, like, I mean, the design of it looks really nice anyway. Like, the times that I've seen you stream it like, I'm always drawn to pretty looking games. I'm usually sold on, like, if it looks pretty, I'm like, yes, that's the game for me. But watching you play it does look really, really good. So I might have to have a proper look into it.
The art is beautiful. The soundtrack is great. And the story is great. The characters are really fun. I mean, we've got to talk about this. The characters are also extremely attractive. And it's a big talking point on my streams. And we've had the idea, once I've met all of the characters, I feel like Justin and I need to discuss and rank them.
Tier list.
Which may end up being a bonus podcast. We'll just have to see about that one. It's great. I really, really like it. I'm really enjoying it. And I'm always really excited to play it, which is always a good sign, of course. Other than that, I think the only other game that's new for me was Meg Aquarium. Basically, I'm a big fan of like 2 Point Hospital and obviously the kind of management strategy games, and you basically build your own aquarium and you just like level up, unlock loads of things, unlock loads of really cool fish, and the fish have different needs and they might eat each other and you have to be careful with things like that, and some need rocks, some need weeds, and it's really good fun. It's quite chill. The music is really chill. And it's just enjoyable if you're into those kind of things. I'd recommend it. It's good fun. I was also really, really excited because you can like zoom in. If you zoom in far enough into the aquarium, you can then walk around the aquarium.
What?
And my mind was blown. It's really cool. It's a really, really cool addition. I kind of wish you could do that in games like 2 Point Hospital and things like that. It was really cool. Yeah, I really enjoyed that.
I mean, it's definitely not the intense version that you were playing today, which I thought was that game, and I was like, hang on a minute.
I was going to bring that up.
I was playing Subnautica. I was playing Subnautica on stream today, and Luna came in and was like, this is still Mega Aquarium, right? Is this just like an extreme version of Mega?
Honestly,
I was like, no, honey, no.
I think that was more on me because usually, like, I was getting ready, and as I do at 2:00 in the afternoon, and I was like, oh, put Peach on. She's there. She's streaming, wonderful, and it's the fish game. I just saw water and fish, and I was like, oh, it's that fish game she's been playing lately. And then this noise happened, and I was like, that's her. This seems a lot more intense than I remember. And
is this the scary DLC version?
And then I looked at the game and I was like, that makes a lot more sense then. And it took me a good half an hour of me sitting there doing my makeup going, this is not as calm as I thought it was. But no, completely different game, obviously.
That's so funny. I got back into Subnautica. I haven't played it in ages, and it's great. I love Subnautica, but no, it's not Mega Aquarium. There's fish and there's water. It's just not Mega Aquarium.
That was on me, to be honest, not paying much attention when I'm like half tired. But
It's all good. We don't judge. It's all good.
Subnautica is one of those games that I have always looked at and said, I really need to start this, but not today. And then watching you play it today, I was like, I really need to start this.
Yeah.
Maybe soon. So I do want to give it a shot.
It's great. It's a really beautiful game. And it's one of the only games that's actually made me jump and scream. Because there's not, I have a kind of immunity to jump scares for the most part.
that's so lucky.
There's some extremely scary creatures in Subnautica. There's a lot of people who are scared of it because it's quite a common thing to kind of have a fear of like open water, but like open water where you can't even see your hand in front of your face. And there are points in that game where it gets really dark the deeper you get, and there's some very scary creatures down there, and they can hurt you, and it is a scary game. It really is.
It's not a walk
But it's
in
great.
the, it's
I
not
really
a
love
walk in
it.
the Sea Life Centre, is it?
No, far from it. Far from it. But I would highly recommend Subnautica. It's a really great game, and anyone that always asks me if I would recommend it, I'm like, play it. It's a great game. But what about you, Luna? Have you been playing any new games?
Yeah, so there's 3 new games, one of which I'm going to talk about because I stream it at the moment, and it brings me not much joy. And
I know exactly what game you're
the other
talking about.
two, I play in my downtime. So a lot of people are like, "You should stream this one," and I'm just like, "Actually, I don't want to." And shock horror, it's another farming simulator, and
Hey.
shocking, I know. But it's My Time at Portia, and I know it's not a new game, but to me it's very new. And instead of like basing it all around the farming situation, you kind of, I think I'm at a point where it's very building based. So you kind of get a workshop, you obviously get your I think it's your dad's, your granddad's old workshop, you then move to that town of Portia, and you have to build it up to then become the best workshop in Portia. And you can get like farming animals and stuff, but you can go into like mines and ruins and go and mine for all the stuff that you need. And you have to build up like friendships, but it's quite, I think it hasn't been like properly primed or something for Switch. So the loading times on it are very, very long.
Oh, really? So I've got it on my Switch, and it's been sat there for a few months now. I haven't played it yet.
It's a good thing to chill out to, especially when I want space to myself or I want to have something chill before I go to bed. And it kind of goes back to the whole, this is something I need to do before I go to bed. And 3 hours later, I'm still sat there going, I'm going to build this thing, whether it's the end of the day or not. So it's really good, and I really do recommend it.
I've had it recommended to me quite a few times, and considering how much I love Stardew and everything like that, I have still had it sat on my Switch, so I need to get on it. I need to play it.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend it if you do like Stardew and stuff like that. But yeah, as long as you got the patience to sit through the long loading screens, sometimes it's a good game in itself, really. And I think it's the unique art style as well that I've finally gotten used to. And I remember a few people were like, you would definitely love it. And I do love it. I just want it to myself sometimes.
Yeah, that's fair. Totally fair.
And the second one is completely not a farming sim. And again, it's new to me. It got re-released recently, and it's the Scott Pilgrim game.
Yeah.
It's really, really fun, but really, really hard at the same time. So
I've heard that it's very difficult.
I haven't gotten past the first level, and I hate.
You can do it, Luna. You can
And
do
I
it.
hate myself
believe in you.
for it. I hate myself for it because I'm just like, at one point I got to the final boss and I was like, this is it, we can do it, and I died, and I was like, okay, it'll just take me back to the boss battle, it's fine. It took me back to the whole start of the level, and I was just there like, that's going away for the evening, and that's going to stay there for the evening. It's really,
That's
really
not
good
fun.
though. I was really excited for its re-release because it re-released it for its 10th anniversary, and it's all in the comic book style of Scott Pilgrim. It looks like the comic books rather than the movie almost, kind of thing. And I just love the style of it, and obviously it's a side scroller, so you kind of go and buff the bad guys and get them out of your way and carry on as carry on as you do.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's still a game that I'm really enjoying it, but I need to sit down with a clear mind and play it rather than raging at Mario and then going straight back to it after stream and then being like, nope, this is not it. So, but it is really good. I really recommend it if people like those kind of side-scrolly adventure games, platforms, because you're kind of given, like, obviously if I play as Ramona, I think you get different skill sets for different people. Yeah. So it's really good. It's just very different to what I'm used to, and it completely is out of my comfort zone, but I really enjoy it.
When Scott Pilgrim got released back in what, it was 2013, I think it was, or no, it had to be before that.
If it was 10-year release, would it have been 2011?
2011, yeah.
So a friend of me played through that entire game, got to the final boss, and we were like, we can't do this right now. We had been sitting down for a couple hours, and I was just like, all right, let's just save, and we'll come back to this boss, next week or something. And there was no save option.
No, there isn't.
So it put us all the way back at the beginning of the game.
No way.
Yeah, we were sitting there for a few hours, and it was just like, well, we're never playing this game again.
Oh my god.
But I've been looking at it and been like, it's been long enough, and I'm sure they've added a save feature for at least the level, not like, if not the whole game. So, yeah. I've been thinking about adding that to cart.
Yeah, I think it's because I've been saving up my points as well on my Switch, on my eShop. And I had no idea what I wanted to use it for the longest time. And me being me also forgets that you can do that. So it was like, you have like 140 points. And I was like, well, that's a good £10, something like that.
Nice.
So instead of getting it for like 20 odd quid, I got it for about 8 or something. I got it for way cheaper than it was. So I was definitely sold on the fact that I've been waiting for it to come out. And I was like, okay, well, that's a good way to spend my points. So
worth it. We love a bargain.
Yeah, exactly. We love a good bargain. Every time I look on the eShop and hope for something good.
I never played the original, and I've seen people play the kind of the remake is it a remake or a remaster? It's like a remaster.
It's
just a
re-release.
Yeah.
And people have just said it's really difficult. So I think that's probably why I haven't got it.
Well, talking of difficult games brings me on to my third one, and it's new to me. I never had a GameCube as a kid. My first ever console was my DS when I turned 11, and I had Nintendogs. So Mario Sunshine is...
I can't deal with Mario Sunshine.
I thought it'd be fun, so I really enjoyed Mario Galaxy when I played it, and I was like, you know what? Everyone's asking for me to do another Mario. We'll make it a thing. It's great, I never played Mario Sunshine as a kid, so while the nostalgia factor isn't there for me, everything is new. Everything is new, first time. It's great, and my God, like that's all I could say about that game. It's fun, and I really enjoy having a laugh with people about stuff. But it was one of those games where I was like, I don't want the help when I first started, and now I've gotten like 3 streams in, and I'm just like, guys, if you want to help, just tell me how to do it. I don't care.
Tell me where to go. Tell me how to do
otherwise
this.
I'm running around Delfino going, wee! for the hour, I will fully run around Delfino and go, I don't know where I'm going. So it's fun, and I know it brings rage to a lot of people, but because I don't have that nostalgic factor that comes with it, I've kind of gone with it with like an open mind rather than I love this game is my childhood, because I never had it. Yeah. So
see I did, and I actually still have it. I still have my GameCube. I still have Sunshine, and I'm really tempted to just kind of plug it in and see what it's like, because I found that with 3D All Stars,
the controls.
The controls, it was quite disappointing how they just didn't do anything to make it so that it was right for the Switch with the controls. It's really frustrating, the amount of things I fell off of because of the controls.
The camera angles.
I swear it's not my terrible gameplay. It's the camera angles and the controls.
The camera angles really threw me off. So I was doing this boss, and it was the one that's the piranha plant that's flying around the place, and you've got it.
Made me quit the game.
Yeah, just didn't even tell me. He was like, I couldn't do this bit. I gave up.
Quit.
And I was like, right. And everyone was like, this is the last bit. Everything comes in 3 in Mario games. And I was like, right, great. Hit it twice. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it. And I got there and I got to the point and I shot it down. And then the camera angle decided to show me nothing. I was stuck behind a wall. I could not see. Didn't know where the thing had gone. Didn't know anything. And I was just there like, I can't get back up. I don't know. I don't physically know where I am. The walls are pretty colour, at least. So, you know, and I think everyone was just sat there going, oh no, and just watching me going, I can't do anything until the thing flies off and I finally know where I am. So it's frustrating, but I think it's a lot of fun playing it with people who obviously played it as a kid and are going, no, it definitely didn't seem to be this hard as a child.
Yeah, it didn't. I can definitely attest to that. It didn't. It was a big kind of shock to me when I started playing it again. I was like, I just don't remember it being this infuriating.
That's the thing as well. It's just like I sometimes I think Mario stumps me sometimes as well, because I'm like, if you all played this as a child, there is no hope for me here. Like I can't do it as an adult. How did you do this as a child? Literally. So but it's a lot of fun. I'm determined to persevere with it, she says, until next time, and that will probably be where I'm like, I'm done. I'm out of here. Goodbye, guys.
Have you played Odyssey?
Yes. I have played Odyssey. I finished Odyssey and I was like, okay, next one. But I really enjoyed Odyssey. I really enjoyed Odyssey.
I think if you start with Odyssey, everything else is probably going to be a disappointment if you haven't played it as a kid. But that's just my take on it.
The one Mario game I played as a kid, so I had Mario 64 on my DS.
So that sentence just sounds so wrong to somebody. It's like, oh, I had Mario 64 on my DS as a kid.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I was there for the launch of Mario 64 at Toys R Us.
Yeah, I had it on my DS as a kid. And I was like, okay, so if the controls are anything to go with that, then that's fine. That should be, we can do it. It's fine. And then Sunshine has just been a whole new level of something else. It brings out a whole nother side of me, I think. And it's fun, but I can only do it once a week.
Do you have any interest in playing 3D Worlds when it comes out next week?
I want to try it. I definitely want to have a look into it. It's just the current money. I just need to wait until I've got. Yes. It might be a payday purchase. I might have a look at how other people, like the reviews and stuff, and then see how that is.
It's a tremendous game.
Yeah. See, I know. Like, I think Kiki said he was quite excited for it and everything like that, and I've seen a few other people being like, "Yeah, this is going to be great. Can't wait for it." And I'm just like, it might be a payday purchase if I see how it goes, kind of thing. So.
That's exactly how I am. And I think like Nintendo games are always just so expensive in themselves anyway, but yeah, it's probably going to be a save up and see game.
Yeah,
for me.
Yeah, 100%. It's going to be like I'm going to watch a few people maybe play a bit first and then maybe buy it so I don't spoil it for myself. Or it will be like when I got Story of Seasons and I had major like fear of missing out because I saw everyone else play it, that I was like, I need it. I'm going to buy it now. So yeah, we'll see.
So, Luna. I was trying to figure out how long I've known you for. I think it's probably been about 5-6 months.
Yeah.
But I was you streaming when we met? I feel like you were.
I think when I met you, I was just coming up to affiliate. So, and I was just jumping around streams, seeing who was streaming what. And I remember you came up on my recommended. Yeah, you came up on my recommended, and I was just like, well, I hope she won't be mean to me like the last person I jumped into was.
Oh my god, never.
So
never.
I jumped in and I kind of lurked for a bit, and then I finally was like, hello. And I think I've kind of been there ever since. So
the rest is history. But when did you start streaming and what made you get into it?
I started streaming in August last year. That's a really weird sentence to say now. But yeah, I started streaming in August, late August. And I just lost, it was about July time that I'd lost my job in a cafe. And we were still in the lockdown kind of thing, but it was just as we were getting out of it the first time. And so I was like, well, I don't really know what I want to do at the moment. Like, no jobs are really going. And I was kind of feeling a bit lonely because my partner was going back to work. So I was just like, all I do is play games. And I kind of thought about it, and the more I looked into stuff, I was like, I could start streaming. And it was kind of one of those things that I was like looking around, and I remember watching it was at a time where I was just putting like Animal Crossing tours on YouTube with the background noise, and I was like, I don't need a camera or anything to start streaming. And it was when I was really like insecure about people seeing what I looked like. So I was just like, maybe I'll get like a microphone. And I mean, at first I thought, it's just a few friends will watch me from Instagram, it's fine. And if I'm playing Stardew Valley all day, every day, I might as well do it while talking to some friends online. And then, I kind of got into it from there. And then I did camera streams about a month in, I think. I hit affiliate and then started to do camera streams. And then, I'm here.
Amazing. And you are like Instagram queen as well. Like your photos on Instagram are just so beautiful.
Yeah, so I am a music photographer as well, but obviously COVID has currently had other ideas regarding everything and anything, and I had two of my biggest opportunities music photography wise last year. Had a load of festivals and stuff coming up, and then COVID was like, no. So it was either leave my camera being gathered, like let gathering dust, or start taking photos for Instagram. And it's the one thing that I still take photos of at the moment, because there's nothing else for me to do with photo wise with it. So I enjoy Instagram because it keeps me creative sometimes.
It's great. And do you find that a lot of people from Instagram kind of find you through there first and then find you on Twitch?
It was at first, and then it changed. So a lot of people on Instagram's a weird kind of platform, I think, and that's coming from me with who's gained this following on Instagram from it. But I had a few people that follow me from there, and that was how I kind of got the first 50 followers. But kind of ever since then, it's been a lot of people being like, oh, you have Instagram. Oh, you have quite a few followers on Instagram. And I'm just like, yes, yes, I do. So it's kind of, it chops and changes. Sometimes I'll get a few people coming in being like, oh my God, I finally managed to catch one of your streams. I follow you on Instagram. And I'm like, that's amazing. And then other times it's, oh, I'm going to follow your Instagram then. I didn't realize that you did this. And I was like, yeah, I do. So it chops and it changes, really. I think it was, when I first started it was, but now it's kind of people finding me on Twitch and then following from there.
That's really cool. I always I find your Instagram quite motivating, because I always plan on taking, really cool photos of my Switch and all of my little memorabilia things, and then I just never do, and I'm like, damn it, Luna does it all the time, and I just can't do it.
I think I started losing, especially when I went back to work before the second and third lockdown. I then started really struggling finding the time to do it, because obviously I was working full-time job, and then if I wasn't working, the 2 days I wasn't working, I was streaming. So then it kind of got to a point I'd be like, took an Instagram break that wasn't intended, oops. But it's definitely keeping me motivated to keep busy, especially with my camera as well, and it just stops it gathering dust in a corner. Luckily. Yeah. But I think Instagram's one of those things that I always people are like, oh, how do you start? I'm like, you don't need a good camera to do it. Just do what, take photos of what you want, follow similar interests, and you'll find the friends that you want, so especially with the algorithm, I think that's put a lot of people off as well lately, because Instagram seems to chop and change its algorithm every week.
Yeah, I know Instagram is a real killer with the algorithm, and it's just quite unfair, really, with kind of, because I feel like you get used to finding a way to get other people to find you, and then Instagram change it again. Yeah. And that can be quite frustrating for a lot of people. Yeah,
it was easier to get a bigger reach when I first kind of started it about January last year. And then I hit about 7,000 followers, and it was like, oh my God, the algorithm is just killing me off.
So, but that's amazing. That's such an amazing number.
Yeah, it's fun, and when I first started it as well, I never thought anything of it. And then I remember people being like, you've got this many followers on it. And I was just like, oh, I just kind of do it because I enjoy it rather than because I want the followers. It was also so I didn't because I was just realizing that all I took photos of on my story on my personal Instagram was my Switch, and I didn't want people being like, you're such a nerd, go away. So I was just like, I'm going to make a new Instagram for this. It's fine. It's fine.
So what do you feel are your favorite things about streaming, and then what are your least favorite things?
So favorite wise, because I have a lot of nervous energy, I like the fact that because I talk a lot means that people are kind of there and they'll actually respond to what I'm saying rather than going, yep, yep, well done. And I'm just like, thank you. But they'll actually respond and they'll kind of take that on board and actually have a conversation with me, which is quite nice. And, you find a lot of people with a similar interest to you because obviously they'll find you through what games they like playing. So I like the community kind of side of it a lot. But saying that, they're my least favourite thing. And it's such a cliche when I say it like this. Basic manners. Right. Right.
Some people don't have them.
And it was one of those things that when I first started, I didn't want to be, I didn't really have any rules when I first started either. All it was just, hey, be nice. That was it. Yeah. That was it. Because I thought, it's not really going to go anywhere. I'm just going to be talking to some friends. And then the more people that come in, I'm just like, I've like slowly been adding like, can you just respect the mods and be nice? And, like,
it's crazy. You feel like you shouldn't have to tell people that, but unfortunately you do.
People seem to think that hiding behind a keyboard is great. And, I've had it before where I think the reason I don't stream like Animal Crossing and stuff like that is because I've had people come in and say really mean things. And you're just kind of there, like, especially if, because mods are there a lot, but if they're not there and you're not going to force them to be there all the time, if they're not there, you're just kind of sat there going, okay, what do I do?
Animal Crossing is such a sweet game. Why does it bring out some
I don't know. And this was the thing, I was really excited when I got my Animal Crossing Switch, so I can move, because I had it on my light, so I could move everything over with this new update. And I was like, great, this is perfect. I get to stream Animal Crossing. I get to show everyone my island that I've been working on for hours and hours. And then it just brings out like some rude people, and I'm just like, what? They're animals. Like, why? Like, you don't need to say that. They're just animals that are watering a flower. You don't need to come in and be so mean.
Yeah. That's crazy.
But yeah, so it kind of like contrasts itself there, where it's like my favorite thing is my community and talking to very like-minded people. But then at the same time, my least favorite thing is people that come in and just they just seem to be keyboard bullies, basically. Is
people that demand you play a certain game when there's so many other people out there streaming that game.
It's like, I hate this game, play this instead. And I'm like, well, it's my favorite game, so no. But then I think my favorite thing about streaming as well is that it's like, from a mental kind of perspective, it stops me sinking into my own thoughts a lot. And with lockdown and stuff, I obviously haven't seen my family since September or anything like that. So it's been a wild ride in terms of that, but it means I can go and talk to people, and I can just hold a conversation and make friends while the world seems to be a bit sucky. So that's been a really good kind of side of Twitch there, really. And I kind of pride myself on the fact that my community are really nice and are really sensitive to other people sometimes. And
I've spent a decent amount of time in your community, Luna, and I have to say, out of all the communities that I go into, yours is very wholesome.
Yeah, so basically at the moment, when I'm not on furlough, I do work with children, so obviously I don't want anything to come back to me that I don't find like, I don't really mind what other people do, but if someone came to my job and were like, I watch you on Twitch, I don't want to be there like, oh no.
What have you seen?
So, yeah. So, it makes that kind of easier as well. But then I've kind of started like, so I pride myself on the fact that people are very nice in my stream and quite wholesome, and we've now got like the reach out command that has got like mental health links and stuff like that. So it's just kind of there, and I want this nice community which I've built, which is quite nice as well. So yeah, it's been a ride. Kind of thing.
That's really lovely. That's actually a really good idea, because I feel like it's also a kind of a thing that kind of comes with being more of a kind of, or just a streamer in general, but kind of having that kind of wholesome vibe where, you know, people come to feel welcome in your stream, and they open up quite easily when that's the case. And it can be a little bit dangerous because you kind of end up being someone's therapist, which is not, you know, you're not professionally trained. It's not what you're there to do. So that's a really good way of doing it, actually, to just be like, really sorry you're feeling down, here's somewhere you can go.
It's, you know, so I've got like the UK links
help.
and then like international links as well, because I didn't know, obviously I don't know what's available everywhere, so I just found like a list and I was like, this is where you could go, I think. Hopefully.
Yeah, that's a really good way of doing it.
It's definitely, I think it, especially lately as well, because I have had a lot of people come and being like, the lockdown is really getting to me, and I'm like, me too, but here's some resources to help you out with that kind of thing. So yeah, it's, luckily people are quite nice on that side of things as well. So I'm very lucky that all my mods, all the people that come in are very, very nice about it too. There's not been anyone being really horrible about it. So that's a good time. But
that's really good.
And then in a completely different, I've also got another pet peeve, which I realised the other day.
Go for it. Hit us with it.
And I think we've spoken about it a little bit before, Peach, where you'll play Mario and a lot of people speedrun Mario, but I don't need the speedrunners to tell me that I suck.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we love a speedrunner.
And I've got a few friends that speedrun everything, and, you know, they're fine, and they'll, like, some people will come and be like, you should speedrun this, and they'll watch me fall off something and be like, or not, don't do that. Like, I got stuck on a level, and everyone was just watching me go, I don't know where he's gone, because I was trying to find Shadow Mario, and in the end I was just running around like, I don't know where he is. And it took me about half an hour to find him again. So I don't...
It's so relatable.
And I want to play the game at my own pace, especially if it's a game I've never played before. And I think I found it more with like Odyssey and stuff like that, where they come in and they're like, I speedrun this. And I'm just like, okay, that's great. Like, what's your best time? Like, I'll ask them everything, and they're just like, you're not very good at this game, are you? And I'm just like, oh.
I'm so glad it's not just me, because I think I talked about this before when we were talking about Odyssey, and I tried to stream it once or twice, and you get these smug speedrunners who just come in and they're like, oh, you're not very good at this. And it's like, but I'm enjoying myself. Stop sucking the joy out of this game for me.
Exactly. And again, it like ties into the whole, I don't understand why people come in and want to ruin the fun for everyone.
Unfortunately, they do.
I do just want to enjoy my time at Mario as much as I'm raging at Sunshine. I don't need someone to be like, you suck.
If somebody came in and told me I sucked when I was playing Sunshine, I'd be like, obviously, I'm playing Sunshine. Terrible video game.
You're enjoying it. That's all that matters. And I feel like people are there to watch you enjoy it.
Exactly.
And, you know, there are so many people out there who do speedrun and everything. It was like we were saying about someone saying, why aren't you playing Animal Crossing? There are so many other people doing speedruns and playing Animal Crossing. Go and watch them.
And if they're not live, I'm sure there's clips on YouTube somewhere. Like, it's not end of the world if I'm not speedrunning the game or playing a game that you want to. And yeah, I think the thing was, when you were like, oh, what some things that you love and hate about streaming? I was like, it's easy to make a list of things I hate or like dislike because I love streaming. It's obviously helped me a lot. But yeah, and then I think things have happened in the last 2 weeks where I've gone, this.
We can talk about this.
This is the issue here. But no, I think streaming as well has definitely made me finish a lot of games that I would never have played or finished otherwise, and having that community there being like, you can do it, like when I played Little Nightmares.
Well, that was fun.
I just don't do scary games.
Luna was scared.
I just don't do scary games, and I remember finishing the game and I was just, I like put the controller down, I was like, I'm done, we're gone into it's gone, it's done, we can leave. And everyone's like, the DLC, and I was like, no. I was like, the game is enough, we don't need the rest of it. But yeah, it's made me finish a lot of games that I either wouldn't have picked up myself or wouldn't have even thought about playing, but having people to laugh at it with and to enjoy it with has definitely got me into gaming a lot more.
Yeah, and especially with Little Nightmares as an example, that's totally taking you out of your comfort zone. Like, it's not a game that you would normally play, and I guess you feel like your viewers are kind of holding your hand at the same time.
Yeah,
and kind
100%. Like, at first I was like, no, I'm not a big fan of backseat gaming, because sometimes people do just come in and want you to play it the way they want to play it. But with Little Nightmares, it would get to a point where I'd just be there like, help.
There's no shame in that. There's no shame in asking for help.
No, exactly.
Backseating is the worst, and I'll say that as somebody who completely backseats Peach.
No.
Every time she plays Hades. She's like, I'm going to choose option 1. And I'm in chat and I'm like, absolutely not. You're choosing option 3.
I don't mind that. Like, I feel like when it's people I know and I trust their judgment, I'm 100% okay with a bit of backseating.
See, I'm the worst when it comes to Stardew. I'm not even a good Stardew player, but like my friends Helly and Ed have played it on their streams for a bit, and I'm just there going, do this, water your plants. It's 12 p.m. It's 12 a.m. Go to bed. Don't do that. No, don't pickaxe the cauliflower. And I'm just sat there, like, luckily, if friends like, and they will sit there and go, Luna, what am I doing? Luna, what am I doing? Why does this happen? And I'm just there like, it's okay. I got you. I got you.
Yeah, and then if someone else who was like brand new to the stream came in and said exactly what Justin would say to me, I'd be like, excuse me, who are you? Get out.
Get out.
I mean, funny story today, but in your stream today, me and one of our favorite VIPs were egging you on to play something, and we had a brand new person in chat being like, guys, if she doesn't want to play the game, she doesn't have to play the game. And we're like, you know what? I like you and you're totally right, but we're friends in real life and she's going to listen to me.
The game was Minecraft for the listeners, just so you know.
That's also a game that I've been told I should play on stream, and I'm just there like, when I had it on my Xbox, all I wanted to do was build a house. I've never experienced a creeper because I played in creative mode, and I was like, if I play it, you're all going to tell me I'm playing it wrong. And they're like, no, there's no wrong way to play Minecraft. And I was like, I don't play on the game mode. I play on the creative mode. I don't want to deal with the monsters. I just want to build a town.
I love that.
I don't want them blowing it up.
So, the reason why we're all here, Luna, is to find out if you were on a deserted island, Lord knows how you got there, but there's a magical tree, and it says, hi, Luna, I can give you 5 games that you can just play whenever you want to. What would you choose?
Right. So, I wrote them down because my memory is awful. So, we've got Stardew Valley at top number 1 because are we surprised? Yay. Are we surprised? It's my favourite game. It has actually overtaken Animal Crossing in terms of my favourite game.
Same, I think, you know.
Just because there's so much more depth to it as well, and you're not pressured to play it every day. As much as I love Animal Crossing. Stardew Valley it's my favourite game, and I think if I talk about it, people that know me will just be like, for God's sake, here we go. Here we go.
But you're like me. You have it on Switch and PC now,
yeah,
don't
I was
you?
very lucky to get it gifted on PC so I could try the new update. And this week has been one of those weeks where I was like, I don't want to play anything else. I'm going to play Stardew Valley. We'll play Mario on Thursday. And that's that. Yeah. Like, that's all we're playing. And I think I played a bit of Ooblets on Friday as well. Wanted to check that new update up. Ooblets is so good. It's so good.
Justin's face just lit up at the
Well, our last podcast, we talked about Kiki had brought up Ooblets, and I'm like, well, next month's guests, that was the first game I think I ever saw Luna play was Ooblets. And so when I think of Ooblets, I think of Luna.
Ooblets it's obviously still in the early access, but they've had this massive update in which the Wildlands is now accessible to you when it wasn't before. And it was just the place that you drop off the Ooblets that you didn't want. And me being me was like, nope, we're not doing that. And I've built them all like they're separate little houses on my farm. They're there, they're farming, it's great, they're living their best life. They're not being deposited anytime soon. However,
we care about
we care about all of them. They all have names. But they've now opened the Wildlands up, and it's amazing because I finally got to see it. but because I've hit everything that I can possibly do in Ooblets at the moment, this new update was like new quest in 20 minutes, and I was just there like, I don't know what to do for that time. Like, I'm really enjoying it and it's lovely, but I might have to figure out what's going on more out of stream, rather than just like running around for 20 minutes going, and then you do this, and then you can do this too. But it was fun showing a lot of people, because I've obviously had a lot of new people come in that have never seen me play Ooblets before, and I was just here like, yes, you've got these little things, and they're like, they look weird, and I'm like, you look past it, and then you look past that, and they were like, well, why is one so big? And I was just like, because I messed up on the Halloween quest, it's fine. And you know, and I was like, and then you go to the dance barn and you do dance battles, and they're like, but why? And I'm like, I don't know, I don't question it, it's a good
Don't question the game.
it's a really good game, and I'm really excited. So I think the reason that they delayed a lot of it as well, so the Halloween update, around the time of the Halloween update, they had a baby, which meant everything was pushed back quite a lot. So I think they finally released the Halloween update in like mid-November.
Yeah.
Which is fair enough. I mean, a kid's a big commitment. So
Fair enough. You've had a child.
fair enough. Had your
Creating a game is not your
exactly.
priority.
So I think everything's been a little bit delayed because of that, but I'm excited to see what the final version is.
And speaking of updates, are you enjoying the new Stardew update? I can't wait for it to come out on Switch.
I am. I fully sat there and I'd forgotten everything that everyone had said about it. So it's like a whole new experience. And it wasn't until like I realised, I was like in the saloon and I was like, this is great, we're going to go and talk to Abigail. And I accidentally sat down and I was just there like, oh my God. I just sat down, and I think for about 10 minutes of that stream, I was like, "Look, guys," and everyone's like, "Yeah, I know you can sit down. Please just continue to play the game."
It's the simple things. The fact that you can now sit down in Stardew is a very exciting thing.
So, and I'm excited to see where all the new cutscenes go to, because there's a lot of people coming in and being like, "Have you done this yet?" And I'm like, "No, what's going on?" But yeah, I think. Yeah, it's really good and I'm really enjoying it. It took me a while to get used to the whole keyboard and mouse thing, because for the first like 3 days it wouldn't let me use a controller.
Same. And I was gutted because I've got so used to playing it on a controller.
I kept pickaxing everything, and it got to a point I'd be like, pickaxe a strawberry, and I'd be like, we're restarting the day. Nobody saw this. It's okay.
Yeah, I when the update first came in, I couldn't use my controller and I was pretty devastated, and I just couldn't play it. I kept checking back to see if the controller worked and it didn't. And yeah, it took a few days for the controllers to be able to work on it, and I was like, please.
For the people that were like, it's so much easier on a keyboard and mouse, I'm like, why are you lying to me?
It's not.
I was like, why are you lying? There is no need.
It's horrid. I hate it. As soon as I started playing on controller, I was like, yeah, I'm never going back.
100%. I had the issue as well where I was setting up for stream once and it didn't connect to the controller. I was like, I'm not going to play Stardew if it's not going to connect to the controller. End of.
Controller or nothing.
Literally. But yeah, so Stardew would be my number one choice.
Awesome. Give us number 2.
Justin will like this one. Persona 5. So I fell in love with Persona 5.
Hell yeah.
Year. It was one of those games that, so it's Tom's, my partner's, like one of his favourite games, and he was like, look, if you're not doing anything while I'm working, why don't you put some time into Persona 5? He was like, you always say you like the art style, you like the look of it, just give it a go. And I was like, all right, fine, okay, I will. Like, grudgingly gave it a go, and I was hooked instantly. I haven't seen, the only reason it's like, the one reason it's going to be one of my options is because I want to see what happens if you befriend a lot more people. Because me being me, didn't realise that you were meant to do a lot of things until I was like, oh, we're coming up to the end of the game and I'm friends with no one, almost. So
that's amazing.
I think I was like friends with Ryuji and Morgana, and then I romanced Makoto, and then that was it. I had no idea of what anyone else was capable of. So that's why it's going to be one of them, because I haven't tried Royal and I haven't seen what everyone else is capable of. So that would be another like 90 hours to sink into.
Makoto was my second choice.
I love her. She's very good. Basically. Yeah, she's great. But yeah, so we've also got our little like figures of Joker and Skullkin and stuff like that there as well.
Oh, that's
so
awesome. That soundtrack is now on Spotify.
Yes, I saw, and they've re-released the vinyl and stuff too. So that's sick. That's incredible.
Justin loves the soundtrack.
It is such a good soundtrack.
I know, because you've sent me tracks of it.
When you were saying Justin's going to be happy with this one, I'm like, is she going to say Odyssey? I didn't see Persona coming
neither
at
did
all,
I.
and I'm so happy.
Oh yeah. I've got another one on here which is definitely going to shock
I
you
love
guys.
it. I love being shocked. It's great. I feel like you learn more about someone when you're kind of not expecting it. You're like, okay.
Yeah, I think they're games that I wouldn't stream. So but obviously like 2 of them I do stream and this other one I don't. But yeah, Persona 5 is definitely there because I want to see it's easily like 90 hours, and you can go and see all the other options and
It's
make
the kind
it
of game you want on a deserted island with a lot of time to kill.
exactly.
That's why it was on my list.
And yeah, it's great, and I love the art style of it as well, and the soundtrack. So it's
I
on
will
there.
eventually play it, Justin, I promise.
I'm staring right at you right now.
I know you are.
I was about to say, I was like, I can see Justin like intently
It's
staring.
like, do you see that everyone loves it?
I mean, I've been hammering the Persona 5 train since, I don't know, my 3rd week on stream. I was like, hey, there's this game. Once I joined the Discord, I was like, I think you might like this game. And you're like, okay, new guy. And then it was just like, oh, I'm now mod, and I'm like, every week I'm like, no, you should really play Persona 5.
I think it was when I uploaded a photo of the statues that I'd taken on like Twitter, and you were within like 2 minutes of it being up, Justin was there like, Peach,
Is this
Peach,
Persona,
play the game.
It's Persona 5 radar. Well, actually, I didn't mention this in the beginning of the stream with the kind of new games, but I now have a PlayStation.
Yeah, exactly. So you should definitely get
I
on
will.
it.
Very soon. Very, very soon.
Very soon.
holding you to it. I've now recruited Luna to my cause, and I'm extremely happy with today's events.
Okay. It'll happen.
All right, what's number 3?
Number 3 is Animal Crossing. So while I currently have quite big burnout from Animal Crossing,
is this New Horizons?
Yeah.
Cool.
It's one of my favourite games, obviously, and it's a game I hold really dear to my heart anyway. So I had it I had Wild World as a kid, and my nan bought it for me. So every time I've got like an Animal Crossing game, it always reminds me of her.
That's nice.
So, and also New Horizons, I love it anyway, and I've got so much work to do on my island that it will probably never be done. I always like can't wait for this to be like done, and I'm going to then try and travel back to like end of November when it's starting to snow, and it will be a cool dream island kind of thing. We're now in February and that has not happened yet. So
I keep meaning to. I feel like the thing is Animal Crossing is you get your island to kind of where you want it, and then you're immediately bored of it. And I had plans to turn mine into a dream island and kind of save it at that point, and I never did because I was immediately bored of it.
I think that's the thing though, like when it first came out, I had it on pre-order when it first came out. So I had to self-isolate for a week before the lockdown, and I pre-ordered Animal Crossing. It was the one thing getting me through the self-isolation. I was like, this is Animal Crossing at the end of the week. Yeah. It's going to be great. Yeah. Picked it up, wonderful, had it, and then I played it non-stop throughout the first lockdown, and then I went back to work, and it's been hit and miss since. Yeah. But because it's such a relaxing game, it's obviously one of my favourites, I'd still take it with me because you never know when you want to dip back into it.
It's great.
And if I didn't take it, I'd be sad. So
all your poor villagers would be neglected.
Literally. However, the only thing is, the minute you don't play for 2 or 3 days, they're just like, where were you? And I'm like, I'm sorry.
You don't love us anymore.
I'm sorry. And they're just like, I waited outside your house. And I'm like, I'm sorry. Didn't know you felt this way. But yeah, so it's one of my favourite games, as I keep saying, that even though I've got burnt out from it, the minute I get back into it, I'm all over it. So yeah.
That's fair. And as we said, you're on a deserted island, you'd have a lot of time, you probably would be able to play it every day.
Yeah, exactly. I'd just do what I need to do, go and get some food maybe, some whatever I'm doing, and then go back to Animal Crossing, and it's fine. Number 4 is going to shock you. Or I don't know if it's going to shock you. That makes it sound like really like, dun dun dun. But my 4th choice is BioShock Infinite. It's one of my favourite games of all time.
I love it. This is a great list.
It's my favorite BioShock in the series as well. So my list for BioShock goes Infinite 1, then 2.
Well, I mean,
the general consensus.
I would say it's 50-50 between Infinite and BioShock 1 as the favorite. 2, although I think is like the longer we get from 2, it looks better. But that would be my list as well.
Yeah, BioShock Infinite is wonderful. Wonderful as you go around and shoot people.
Wholesome.
It's obviously
very wholesome.
It's wholesome. It's so wholesome. I think the contrast of it being set in the sky rather than down below just gives it such a brighter glow to it. That it's and the whole story to it is great anyway. I think I really like Elizabeth as well. So is it Elizabeth? This is where I'm like, it's my favourite game, and then I'm like, would get the character
wrong. Is Elizabeth the creepy little girl?
No.
Am I thinking of a different game?
No, you're thinking of the little sisters from BioShock. Infinite changed the formula a little bit. Instead of being, as Luna said, in a city under the ocean, you were in a city in the sky. And there were no little sisters that you had to do anything with.
In the DLC, there are, I think.
Are there in the DLC? Yes, you're right. The thing about Infinite is you're trying to kidnap a girl who needs to be kidnapped out of there because she's being held prisoner. And the story goes from there. So she's like your companion. The ending of BioShock Infinite is one of my favorite video game endings of all time. It's fantastic. Especially if you had played the 2 before that.
Yeah, I've only ever played the first one, which is why I thought you were talking about the little sister. I haven't played Infinite.
Infinite's really
cool.
good. Yeah. Infinite's really good. And I think because it's such a contrast to the first 2 games, it's just such a nice eye opener to the series as well. And it's just such a nice looking game that even though I finished it and played it multiple times, like I've got it on the Switch now as well. It's such a good game. Such a good game.
Nice.
And I would get it. I'm
just gonna. I feel like this happens in every podcast now, where I'm like, oh, okay, I need to play that then.
feel like me and Justin are teaming up on you a little bit here, though.
This is
more
great.
games added to my list. All right, I'll get that.
You should make Luna a permanent host of the show.
Just to be like, just me in the background every 5 minutes going, play the game.
Persona 5.
Play it.
Play BioShock Infinite.
Play it. I'll just pop in like for 5 minutes going, hey, have you played it yet? No? Okay, play it the next time.
See
Bye.
you next month.
But no, BioShock Infinite, is on my list just because I love it so much.
Fair enough.
And I'm probably going to go back to it actually at some point. That's just reminding me I should probably go back to it and play it again.
You're making me want to go back and play it.
Play the series because I got the series when it came out on Switch, and because I just loved them on my Xbox, which is sat gathering dust. So.
If it's got the replayability, then that's a winner.
Exactly, and it for a handheld, like for it to go from obviously like Xbox and stuff to like handheld, it's so good. I was pleasantly surprised at how well it played. Nice. And my Switch Lite has Joy-Con drift as well, and it wasn't too bad in the game. So it's gone really well to Switch. So I was super happy with that.
The dreaded Joy-Con drift. God, I hate it.
Honestly, when it happened, I could fix it the first time, and then the second time it was like, oh, it's gone.
That's what's kept me from getting a Lite is there's drift on the regular Joy-Cons. Why wouldn't there be drift on the Lite, which is attached? The Joy-Cons are attached to the thing.
It lasted quite well until it drifted, and then
it worked until it didn't.
It's just become such a common issue with the Switch. It's a shame that Nintendo haven't properly addressed it, but I
would have thought they had done by now, especially because it's been out for ages.
Yeah, they're just like, just give it a good clean, get some recalibrate it.
It is frustrating, and I remember it happening while I was playing a Mario game, and it just ended up with Mario running around in a circle, and I was just like, no, can we?
No, please no.
No. I'm like, no, this game is hard enough. I don't need you running around in a circle multiple times.
What's your final game?
Talking of Mario, I've put Mario Galaxy on my list.
Oh, I love Mario Galaxy.
I loved Mario Galaxy. I'm sorry it's not Odyssey, Justin.
That's okay. Galaxy's a good game that I need to play all the way through.
I loved the soundtrack to Galaxy. I loved the storyline to Galaxy, and it's not as rage-inducing as Sunshine is. And I feel like having just like a nice classic game there is a good shout, just to sometimes go back to your roots. And then if you get too annoyed at it, you can just go to Stardew Valley and chill out for a bit. It's fine.
You say you don't rage as much. I still raged a lot at Galaxy.
You raged a lot in Mario Galaxy. I could tell you exactly where you were on something and you had to be pulled from like star to star to star to star, but there were the bullet bills coming.
The blue star thing where you like have to hover between them all.
You ended the stream once on one of those. You were like, I'm done for today, and I'll see you guys next time. Beach, please. And then just quit the stream.
But that was me with Mario Sunshine the other day. I thought I was doing really well, and then I couldn't find the last red coin on this level, and I'd looked everywhere, and there were people Googling it for me, and we couldn't find it, and I was like, you know what? This is a good time to raid. We're going. And I was just... It's like, it's been 3 hours. My throat hurts. I'm done. I'll see you tomorrow.
That's a mood.
So, fun fact, Mario Galaxy was the first time I'd ever sworn on stream.
Oh my god.
It was the tiniest little swear. And I remember everyone was absolutely, like, because I've gone so long, like, it's a personal choice. I don't swear. I don't care if the chat swears. As long as you're nice to each other, it's fine. But personally, because I used to swear so much when I was younger, I try not to do it so much anymore. So I've managed to go all this time without swearing until I let this little F word out after I'd fallen off this galaxy for the 5th time, and my chat just went, "Did you just?" And I was like, "Yeah, I did. I'm sorry." Like, I was just
delete the VOD. No evidence can remain.
Oh, it was clipped. It was clipped multiple times.
I can imagine.
So everyone was like, "Luna swore," and I was like, "Yeah, well, you try." So
it does. It brings out the rage. It really does.
But it's probably my favourite Mario game. Again, sorry, Justin. I know you love Odyssey. So I
mean, factually incorrect, but it's fine. Everyone can have their opinions.
I just wanted to say the sorry there before he's just sat there like, "No, you're off. Goodbye."
I think Galaxy was it was the only Mario game that I hadn't played, and it came out in 3D All Stars. And I kind of just played it. I was like, fine, I'll play it. I didn't really know what to expect. And I really loved it. I get what you mean. Like, the music is really great. It has like a really kind of chill vibe.
Yeah, I think
but it's just a lovely game.
And I think because it was so like, I just like the idea of Mario being in space and saving all these little toads and helping save that, little galaxy. It's just cute. I'd love a cute game. I'm drawn to them.
It's pretty. It's cute. We love it.
It's pretty. It was adorable. It was just a good game. So I think I'd have it as well, just to, because I know a lot of people will be like, "You didn't finish it though," because I haven't gone back and gotten like Luigi and stuff like that. So if I had the time to sit and play it and know that my attention span wouldn't be like, okay, bored now, like, I would probably go back and get everything that I could possibly on it.
There's quite a lot you can do with it, because I completed it, I say with quotation marks, because I think I finished it and kind of beat the boss, but there was still quite a lot of stars that I hadn't got. And
same. I
think if you complete all of them, then you go back and then there's other ones that you can do or something like that. So I didn't do any of that either. So I think you'd get some good time out of it, I think.
Yeah, I think there's another good few hours that I could go and do on it, and being on a deserted island would give me those few hours that I could sit and do nothing and finish the game.
Well, I tell you what, Luna, next time I'm in your chat, I'll just be like, "This isn't Mario Galaxy. Why aren't you playing Mario Galaxy?"
Yeah,
There's lots you can still do on it. Why aren't you playing it?
Oh god, don't. It was, every time I finish a game, people are like, "There's more," and I'm like, "No, I finished the main part. You wanted me to do the main part. We're good." Like,
Leave me alone.
Yeah, it's, I love playing games and I love finishing them, but I think the minute my mindset goes to, "Oh, I finished. Okay, we're done now," and that will be it.
I think that was like me. I think especially with how much I had raged, I was like, all right, I've done it now. I beat Bowser. Bye.
And I remember my friend was like, but he was like, "I got Luigi and stuff," and I was like, "I don't have the attention span for that just yet." So you know, I think being on a deserted island to kill time would give me the motivation I needed to go and get Luigi. But
Go get Luigi.
yeah, it was definitely one of my favourite Mario games, and I wanted like a nice kind of classic Nintendo game on there as well. So yeah.
I love it. I feel like I've learned more about you.
It definitely made me think. When you were like 5 games, I was like, oh my god, I play 2 on stream religiously. So to think of 5 that I've played over the course of a time as well, it's definitely a nice ice brain thing. I don't know the word for that.
Ice brain?
A brain teaser. Brain teaser.
Something to think about. I think especially with the kind of the idea of being on a deserted island, having a game that you would be playing all the time, it's not necessarily like your top 5 games of all time, or just your favorite games in general, because you kind of have to think about, is it a game where I can get a lot of hours out of it? Is it a game that I'd be happy to kind of replay over and over? And there's more to it. You have to really think about it.
Yeah, because I was thinking, I was like, I could do The Sims, and I was like, but I went on The Sims the other day, made 1 sim, and then went, yep, done.
Done now.
And then carried on with my day. And so, you know, it's like there's like a load of games that I could have chosen but didn't. And yeah, I'm very happy with my list. I think I would do well on a desert island with those games.
I agree.
Let's hope it doesn't happen, though. We don't want to lose you.
I wouldn't like to be on a desert island. I don't think I'd fare well. I'd be a bit scared. And we've all seen me play Little Nightmares. We don't need a rendition of that in real life.
No, we don't want scared Luna. Well, it's been really great. Thank you so much for joining us on the Game Tree.
Thank you so much for asking me on. It's been really fun.
It's been a pleasure having you here. Where can everyone find you? What are your socials?
So I am Lunaxvalley on Twitter, Twitch, and Instagram. Easy, everything.
Totally easy.
Easy. But yeah, so that it's pretty. Unless you're text to speech, in which my name is Lunax.
Lunaxvalley.
Yes.
And go give Luna a follow. She's amazing. She's great streamer, great photos on Instagram. If you're not following her already, then go give her a follow. And Justin, where can everyone find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Justin_says_hey. And I also sometimes play video games over at that same Twitch address. So you could go catch me over there.
Because he streams now. He's so close to affiliate.
He's a streamer. Pro streamer.
I play the good Mario games over there, so you can come hang out over there.
It's not Sunshine.
It's not Sunshine.
I mean, if you ever do play Sunshine on your stream, you do know I'll be there going, this isn't Odyssey. Why aren't you playing Odyssey, Justin? This isn't
Deal.
Odyssey.
You got a deal.
Wonderful.
And you can find me on Twitch. I am Peach_please, spelled PLS. And on Instagram and Twitter, I am Peach_PLSX. But thank you so much for joining us, Lena.
No worries.
I've had
Thank
a
you
really
again.
good time.
Me too.
It's been great chatting with you and finding out what you'd want to play. And yeah, thank you so much for listening, guys. We will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.